Good morning and welcome to, where are we? We are Allt Llwyn Dyfrion in the north part of the Eastern Cleddau. We're in a beautiful valley in amongst some beautiful Douglas fir. This woodland's planted about 50 years ago, and as far as I can tell there's not much been done in the way of thinning. I think there must have been some initial thinning about, well, it must have been longer than 30 years ago, because I can't find any of the old stumps, and normally they last quite a long time. The site is really steep, so access is somewhat limited. We're sat on, well, not we're, I'm sat on one of the tracks that I've just reinstated coming up the steep parts to get to the top where it's a lot flatter. We're doing about a 10% thin in this woodland, so this compartment here, which is the first one of 9, is roughly 2 hectares, and we are taking out about 10%, which is roughly 120 trees. Some of the trees are enormous. The timber height is topping out at around about 35 metres, and the butts are enormous. Now, our only constraint other than the steepness on this site is this small hole in the ground, which apparently, according to records, is medieval quarry. I'm not quite sure why they came this high up, because the rock quality doesn't look very good, but we're not allowed to fell across it or into it, so we've got to come down either side of it. Am I alright to come up the hill? Yeah, okay, I'm coming up in digger. So we've been felling for a few days, and thankfully because the slope is quite steep, we're able to slide the whole trees down. So I come up in the digger, go right to the top, and then come down in straight lines, so I can go up and down quite steep slopes, sliding the trees down to the bottom track, and then we're cross-cutting down on the track where it's a bit more level. It means that the trees when they come down the hill are in a bit more of a controlled manner than it would be with a winch, so there's a lot less scuffing as a result. It's taken me about 3/4 of an hour, and it's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, probably about 30 trees. So they are sliding down the slope really well. The problem I've got at the moment, because of all the rain we had yesterday, all of the ground is really soft now, and I'm really struggling for traction. So I'm having to be really careful about what I go up and down on the slope, just because I don't want to slide down the slope. The other thing I've got to be careful of while I'm shifting the timber down the slope is that when I push it with the grapple, to make sure that I'm not gripping too tightly, and the digger goes with the grapple. So it's proving a bit. It's a bit like Jenga, but the consequences of getting it wrong are quite severe. So, but it is getting the timber down the slope very efficiently, and there is minimal scuffing, and more importantly on the trees, so the retained crop is still getting some good value, or will still have some good value in the future when I do another round of thinning here. So this is looking up where I've just come down with the digger, sliding all the timber with me. I've got a nice forestry track to process it on now, and all of the trees are within reach. Good morning. The sun has finally returned. So I've had an eventful couple of days, the last couple of days. Really heavy rain yesterday, which has turned everything into mush. Managed to get the tractor completely stuck, given how flat and level it is. That was quite impressive. So a lot of unloading, quite a lot of swearing to get it all out again. The day before, I thought the drivetrain had broken on the log bullet. It turned out it hadn't, but given that I'd taken it all apart and the bearings were a bit loose, I decided to replace the bearings. One stub axle came out with no issues whatsoever, job done in under an hour. The other one, well, it's still knackered now. Even a 50-ton press and heating the cog up that is attached on the inside of the stub axle till it's red hot was still not enough to be able to push it out. So my only option now is the whole thing's going to have to be cut with a gas axe and repaired that way. So the long and short of it is, it was an immensely frustrating day, and well, a couple of days, and we've still got loads of trees to fell and loads of work to do. So the other issue is below me is the school car park, so we've got to get all the felling done by the end of this week because they come back from Easter next week. So there's nothing like a bit of time pressure just to make the job a little bit more tricky. Good morning and welcome to hopefully the penultimate day at Allt Llwyn Dyfrion. We've done all the felling now and we've got most of the timber down the steep slope. However, it was quite wet when I was there last time, and I bottled out getting the digger down the steepest part of the slope, and all the trees have slid to a central point and not got any further. I suspect there's a wind blow that's gone across the track and all the stems resting up against it and jammed up. So I'm coming back today with the winch and we're going to pull everything down the slope, which is going to mean quite a lot of toiling up and down the slope.